Welcome, Vegas newbies, Vegas vets, and everyone in between. This is Josh with Big Slick Vegas. And for today's video, we are going to review my stay at the Paris Hotel, Las Vegas. Now, Paris is located in the center part of the Las Vegas Strip. It was opened on September 1st, 1999, and as you can imagine, has a Paris themed hotel, much like New York has the New York City theme, Paris has the Paris theme, and they do it quite well actually. It offers a 95,000 square foot casino area, a half scale replica of the Eiffel Tower. It is a 33-story hotel which includes 2,900 guest rooms available. Also has a large convention space, which it shares with ballets. Now, we stayed there at Paris for 3 nights. I was able to, through my Caesar Rewards membership, was able to get 3 comp nights there, so those were all comped. I think normally at the time that I booked the hotel, they were going for roughly about 130 a night. That includes the resort fee, which is about typically normally $37. We arrived there at Paris around 1 o'clock. The lines weren't very long at all. To my surprise, the room was ready, and our desk person, who was very friendly, very helpful, went ahead and checked us in, got us our room without charging us like an early check-in fee. Check-in's normally around 4 o'clock at Paris, as it is at most of the Caesars properties. But he decided not to go ahead and charge us. So whether or not that happens on your stay, if you get there early or not, I don't know. I think oftentimes whether or not they charge you for an early check-in fee is going to really come down to the person working the desk, what kind of a good mood they happen to be in. And he was obviously in a good mood. I will say that later on in the day, I noticed from about 3 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, the lines at check-in were extremely long. So my advice is, if you can, get there early, and even if they do charge you the early check-in fee, it's probably worth to go ahead and pay that rather than come back and wait in line. Now, our room was called the Burgundy room, which is their standard room at Paris. It is about 390 square foot room, which is probably a little bit above average for most hotels in the Vegas Strip, though Paris, being considered a mid-tier hotel, might be a little bit below average, as other mid-tier hotels like Planet Hollywood, MGM Grand, and Mandalay Bay are probably a little bit larger. But the room was nice, it was well kept, the beds were very comfortable, everything was clean. It did come with a in-room mini fridge for your own drinks and snacks. The bathroom was quite large and featured basically a large walk-in shower. Now, it used to be not too long ago these rooms had a separate tub and shower. It looks like they took out the tubs and extended the walk-in shower to make it much larger. So depending whether or not you like bathtubs or not, that might be a positive or negative for you. We did have a view of the pool and the Eiffel Tower from this room, which was nice. It was one of the lower floors. I think we were on the 7th floor, so we weren't very high up, but we did have a good view of the pool and the Eiffel Tower as well. Now, Paris offers plenty of dining selections, from the fine dining of Gordon Ramsay's steak, the Eiffel Tower restaurant, and also a fairly new restaurant called Vanderpump. All three of those are highly regarded restaurants from what I understand. We didn't get a chance to eat at any of those this time around, but I hear they're very good. For more casual dining, there is Mon Ami Gabi, where we did dine and have breakfast at. We've eaten there before. It's always excellent. You also have Cafe Americano, Hex Kitchen, as well as the Beer Park. They also have Bobby Flay's has a burger place as well that you might want to check out. I hear it's somewhat, well, I don't know if it's any better or similar to, like, say, Gordon Ramsay steak. It's more of a grab and go place. And speaking of that, they do offer quite a few like quick bite places. You have JJ's Bolognese. I don't know if I pronounced that right or not. We'll just call it JJ's. We did order some food from there while we were staying at the pool. They offer some really good pizza actually, plus sandwiches and pastries, assortment of drinks as well. You also have the Cafe Bella Mandolin, which is also kind of like a grab and go where they have pre-made sandwiches and salads you can also grab from there. There's also Brioche by Guy Savoy, which is a little coffee and pastry stand where I went most of the time to get coffee in the morning as well. And then we'll talk about the pool. I normally don't hang out at pools too much, so I don't know how to compare this with other Vegas pools. From what I understand, it's kind of middle of the road. It's a fairly large pool area, not too. It certainly doesn't have the day club vibe that you might get in some of the other higher end hotels, but the cabana was nice. The cabana rental for the day was $250 for the whole day. As you can see, it does come. You have a flat screen television there where you can sit and watch TV all day if you want to. There's also a mini fridge that also was stocked with bottles of water. You could also order food from there as well as drinks. We did have a cocktail server. She was nice and friendly, but the service was a little bit slow, but I think that's because she was the only server on duty that day trying to handle all the cabanas. So that probably explains that. Our attendants for the cabana, which are basically the people that will show and give you a tour of the cabana itself and occasionally check to see if you need any towels or any more bottled water. One of them was really friendly, really nice. The other one, not so much. You can kind of tell he did not want to be at work today on that particular day. But other than that, I found the pool have more kind of a relaxed atmosphere. It was fairly busy, and this was like a Wednesday that we spent the day at the pool. We didn't spend all day there, but enough to get our money's worth, I would say for sure. Some of the attractions and entertainment goes, there is the Eiffel Tower ride where you can take an elevator up to the top and go to the observation deck. Unfortunately, while we were there, it was closed, so I'm guessing it was probably closed for maintenance or something along those lines, so I didn't get a chance to experience that. They do have very popular the Napoleons, which is a dueling piano bar. Unfortunately, they're only open on the weekends. As same thing with the Le Cabaret Club, which I'm not even sure if they've reopened yet. Both those places, of course, feature live music. You would think with the crowds coming back to Vegas, they would open every night, but so far they haven't. So that's something Paris probably needs to address and start opening those places all night during the week, as besides just on the weekends. There is the Chateau nightclubs. If you do like the nightclub scene, they do offer that. They have a wide range of different lobby and lounges, including the Circle Bar, which is near the lobby. They also have Gustav's and the bar by the Sports Book, which looks like they were remodeling while we were there as well. Now, Paris used to have a few shows there. Right now, they don't offer any shows, which is kind of a disappointment. A property this large on the Las Vegas Strip, you would think would have at least a couple shows. So that's something they are a little bit lacking of. The casino area is nice and spacious. It's easy to get around. It's basically one big giant circle with the perimeter featuring stores and restaurants and whatnot. The gaming selection could probably be a little better. There were some games that I couldn't find that I wanted to play, certain slot games anyway. However, it is important to note that Paris is attached to Bally's, and there is an indoor walkway. So if you can't find something at Paris, chances are you might be able to find it at Bally's and vice versa. So you kind of have like two casinos in one almost. While we were at Paris, the World Series of Poker was going on in the convention centers that, as I mentioned earlier, that are shared by both Paris and Bally's. Did watch it for a little bit. They did have separate cash games going, but wasn't gonna quite, probably not quite good enough to play against those guys, so I decided not to, but I did watch it for a little bit. So we'll go through our ratings, see how I score Paris, and as you can see here, Royal Flush means it's elite, 4 of a kind means excellent, Full House, very good, 3 of a kind, good, 2 pair, okay, and if it's just a single card, it means it's crap. So moving on. As far as the location, I say it's a Royal Flush. Paris is right there pretty much in the center part of the strip. You have easy access, like I said, to Bally's, but you're also right across the street from Bellagio. On the other side of Paris is also Planet Hollywood, the Miracle Mile shops. You're also not too terribly far from the Cosmopolitan. You're also close to the Flamingo, Caesar's Palace, and we even walk down to New York, and MGM in Excalibur, and it really wasn't too far of a walk either. Another day we walked down to the Venetian, and also that wasn't too long of a walk. So really you're in the ideal spot if you're staying on the Las Vegas Strip as far as having easy access to several different hotels. The room, I'll give 3 of a kind. Like I say, it was a nice room. It's a good room. I think it's probably for what the going rate sometimes can be, because like I said, at the time that I booked it, was around 130, 135 a night, and this was, of course, midweek. I've sometimes seen it higher than that. I kind of think it's probably needs to be a little bit bigger to justify the price, but overall, when you figure in the property, I think it's still a good room to stay at. As far as the customer service, I'm going to give it a Full House. Most of the people I dealt with were really friendly, including the front desk staff, the ladies, the restaurants, which is kind of separate from the hotel. The person running the gift shop was really friendly. Like I said, the cocktail service in the cabana was really slow, and it was really slow too in the casino, so that kind of takes it down a notch where it could have been easily a 4 of a kind, which is what I'll give the overall upkeep of the property. It's very clean, very well maintained. The dining options, and when I say dining options, I just don't mean the quantity of restaurants, but the quality and also the differences, the variety of restaurants as far as having different price ranges for each of the restaurants. I would say it's excellent overall. I wish their buffet was still open. Their buffet I thought was a pretty good middle of the road buffet, especially their weekend brunch buffet. But I don't think that's ever going to be reopened again. As far as the entertainment attractions, like I said, they don't have any shows. That's why I'm only giving it 2 pair. You do, like I said, have some lounges there with some live bands like Napoleon's and the Cabaret Club. But unfortunately, they are only open on the weekends, which I think they need to be open every day. And of course, you do have the Eiffel Tower where you can take the elevator up and look onto the rest of the strip on their observation deck. Unfortunately, it wasn't open while we were there, but I imagine it'll be reopening if it's not already reopened now. The casino, like I said, I'd give it a Full House. Could use a little bit better variety of gaming there, but outside of that, I think it's a really good casino. The atmosphere and vibe, definitely giving it a Royal Flush. I love these themed casinos, that kind of date back to the 90s. This is when I first started going to Vegas, so I have a little bit of a nostalgic for those types of casinos. I think they do the whole Paris theme really well without going overboard with it or making it too cheesy. It's a very fun place to hang out at and gamble at, and without being too loud or too crazy inside. So yes, definitely the Royal Flush for their atmosphere. So the overall score, I'll go ahead and give it a Full House. Probably what brings it down a little bit is the lack of shows and entertainment there at Paris, but hopefully maybe they'll improve that in the future. So that will conclude this video. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Next week we'll probably start doing some dining reviews on some of the restaurants we dined at, which will include probably do Mon Ami Gabby again, even though I did one a year ago. I think I'll go ahead and do another one. There's also several others such as Nacho Daddy, the Wind Buffet, as well as Hash House over at the Plaza, just to name a few. So we will Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.